All right, so it's 2023 and you need to be trying to get ahead of your friends. And most importantly, you need to be trying to make at least 10K per month. And in this video, I'm going to give you the 3 steps you need to do this. Now, these awards behind me are actually from when I got to my first 10K per month 3 years ago. And I can tell you from experience, when you hit 10K per month, no matter what age you are and it's your money, you made it, you didn't get it on a salary or a paycheck, it completely changes your perspective on life. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people in the comments saying, I don't want to win if my bro's not winning. I want to introduce you to a very popular quote by a guy named Dean Graziosi, who is literally a multi-millionaire. But the funny thing is, he actually has dyslexia, but somehow has an award-winning book. I'll let you think on that, but here's the quote. He said, the reason that when the plane is crashing, they tell you to put your gas mask on first is because you can only help other people once you've gotten yourself taken care of. Now, I'm a big believer in putting people on around me and bringing all of us to the top so we can win. But remember, the only way you can put someone on is to be put on yourself. So just keep that in mind. And if you've never seen me before, this channel is literally all about self-development. That way you can become the best man, the best woman, and just honestly the best version of yourself. So if that sounds interesting to you, consider leaving a like and a subscribe. But let's go ahead and get into today's video. Now, a major reason a lot of guys actually fail in life is simply because they don't have the right things in place. And as I mentioned earlier, the 3 things I'm going to share with you here today are 3 things that I found at a young age, being that I'm only 20 and have completely changed the trajectory of my life. I'm currently building a new business that's literally on its way back to that 10K per month. And here's the crazy part. I literally started this 45 days ago. But before I get into all of that, let's get into framework number 1. You have to learn the difference between sprinting in life and when to jog in life. Now, I'm a big believer in there has to be balance, but I find balance to come in a different way than most people. Most people look at balance as I go to work 4 days out of the week. I'm in the house 1 or 2 days. And Friday or Saturday night, I might go out to a party, a kickback, smoke with a couple friends, just have a good time, play some video games, whatever. And honestly, that's how most people look at balance in life. There's a little bit of productivity, there's a little bit of fun, and there's a little bit of relaxation, right? What's not to like? The problem is you can't get ahead doing what 99% of other people are doing. I mean, think about it. Your friend's probably doing this. Your friend's friend is probably doing this. Your friend's friend's mom's cousin is also probably doing this. I mean, name somebody in your circle that's probably not doing this. I want you to do that down in the comments. And if you can name someone that's not doing this and they do seem to always be sprinting in life, typically look at their situation. Typically they have their own place. Typically they have their car. Typically they take care of their bills. And typically they're labeled as an out the way person that has their shit together. Most of the time, you get a few anomalies every now and then. But my point is, those people are generally in what we call a sprint in life. A sprint is where you really lock yourself down and you really focus on your goals for a set period of time. Typically, I like to do 3 to 4 month sprints, sometimes even ranging 6 to 8 months, just depending on the goal and what do I want to achieve. The reason why this principle is so important is because going into the other 2 principles, you cannot get to 10K a month with your own business and making your own money and being substantial on your own if you don't know how to sprint in life. Sometimes you've got to sacrifice the short-term gain for the long-term effective freedom. For example, I have not worked a job since 2020. I have not been a student since 2020. I've actually been living off of my own income from my own businesses since 2020. You can take what you will with that, but let's go ahead and get into the second point. And if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to leave a like. But let's go ahead and get into it. The second point is understanding the mental discipline that it takes to be successful in life. This kind of goes back into the first point, but a lot of people don't actually have the discipline to be able to perform these sprints in life. That's why a lot of people can't stick to a diet. A lot of people can't stick to going to the gym. Not because they lack motivation, but they actually lack discipline. Because if you ask them the reason for why they want to do it, they can always tell you the reason. Therefore, they're not lacking motivation. They're simply lacking the discipline to get it done. So to all my young guys out there who are struggling, one major piece of advice that I've found to be able to make myself be disciplined is to literally keep a journal. Every morning I wake up at 5:30. And I literally plan out my entire day. Success doesn't come from an abundance of information, nor does it come from an abundance of resources. It literally becomes, what do I need to do to be successful? And then disciplining myself to do it every single day until I get to where I want to be. And that's literally been my driving factor of success for the last 3 years. And I'm sure you're like, that sounds great, but all of that is irrelevant if you don't have the right business idea. Which moves us into point number 3. You need to start a business if you want to be a high value guy that's attractive to women, that can walk in a room and simply demand order. I'm a big believer in the phrase money talks. And if you ever want to be in a position where you're not worried about money and you can actually enjoy life without having to worry about if you're going to be able to pay for it, for most people, unless you go into a high value sales role, it's going to be by starting a business. Now for me, this was service-based business for two reasons. Number one, it takes the exact same amount of work to sell something for $50 that it does $1,500. The reason I know this is I've been doing online sales, like I said, for the last 3 years, and I've done this for other companies as basically an employee or what we call an affiliate. And I've also been selling my own services for the last 2 years. And every time I launch a new service, because I've learned the skill of sales, I've been able to close at least $2,000 to $3,000 within my first 2 to 3 weeks, with the exception of this last time because I started from complete scratch with no following or anything. I guarantee you, once you learn the skills to start a successful business and you're able to create your own income, watch the amount of control over your time, your life, your finances, and even the women and men that try to interact in your life. Watch how you no longer want to associate with people because you realize how much they're really just pulling you down. You'll realize that when you disappear for these periods of time to work on yourself, nobody really gives a fuck about you. And that's the cold, hard truth. I make these videos simply because I want to see us brothers win. And when I say brothers, I'm not talking about me being a black guy. I'm talking about young men who are striving to create excellence in their life. And if you're a woman who just sat and watched this video, I salute to you because honestly, there isn't a lot of women who look in the mirror and say, I need to improve myself. I've run into countless women that always think they're a 10. And I'm not here to bash women, but I am here to say that everyone has room for self-improvement, even me. I'm a very big believer. I go to the gym every day. I fast. I spend about 30 to 60 minutes a day learning a new skill. And most importantly, I'm always putting new things into practice so I can continue to better myself as a man and an entrepreneur. I love each and every one of you guys. And like I said, if you enjoy content like this, be sure to leave a subscribe. And if you want to see a video on how to start a service-based business and get to 10K per month within 90 days, get this video to 50 likes and I will do just that for you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you guys in the next video.